All right, here's part one of what happened to Cecelia. I'm going to post these as a series of events because it goes over years, and nobody wants to sit and watch years worth of content at once, at least not in this format. So, and I know she hasn't heard any truth about anything, and she was so young when she was taken, she probably doesn't remember much, and what she does remember has been manipulated, and she's been brainwashed and indoctrinated, and I know her mother well enough to know what's going on. And even if I didn't, I have strangers contacting me, telling me what's going on. So I'm about to contact her mom when I get home and see what we can do about it. But here's what she did. This is the stunt she pulled. Cecelia, she was 4 or 5 at the time. How sad is that? I can't even remember how old she was. It's been so long. We were at my house watching a movie in a back room. I had a little bungalow kind of style house, a little bigger than a bungalow. But it was a little neighborhood. It was an awesome house. Very neighborhood. It was a village called Beechwood Village in Louisville. Everybody's real tight knit. We lived real close to each other. Awesome neighborhood. Perfect for kids. We had a park that we just loved right down the street. So I'd put her in a wagon, load it up with snacks and dolls and all the toys we needed, and take her down, pull her down to the park, and we'd play and play and play, man. Some of my favorite times of my life happened right there. So anyway, we're sitting in the back room watching a movie or watching TV or something, sitting in this huge red bean bag I had, and all of a sudden we hear this commotion outside. We're like, what is that? So I get up and I start walking around. I go out to the front room, don't see anything out there. I go over to the kitchen, look out in the backyard, and there's my ex-wife, her mom, running around the yard with sunglasses on, yelling and screaming like she's on crack or something. And I go back in there and I tell Cecelia it's her mother, and she's acting like a baboon. Let's see what's up. So I go to the front door. It's a big, heavy door. It's an old house, big wooden door that opens inwards. And there's a big glass storm door that opens outwards. It's a handle on it, a lever handle. And so I open the big door, and I'm holding the lever on the glass door, and I'm yelling at Casey, what's up? And I don't remember what she said. It's just this nonsense. And she grabs the door, tries to open it, and tries to barge on in. And I try to pull the door shut, and I slam the heavy door. I don't know if she were coming like in my house like that. Not invited, just showing up out of the blue. So she's hysterical. So I think we start texting each other because I'm like, what do you want? You're trespassing and you're acting like a mental patient. And of course, all my neighbors are all looking out the windows, going, what in the world is going on? She's parked in the driveway. And so I told her I'm going to call the cops or something if I can't. I think she did. Maybe I did. I don't. It's been so long. Doesn't matter. She was there trespassing, so we both had. I had a right to call the police. She didn't. So anyway, the police arrived. I don't remember who called them, but she moved her car. She went out into the road, lit a cigarette, standing there smoking cigarettes. She started smoking again. Another great decision. In front of Cecelia. So I'm sure everything Cecelia has smells like smoke now, including her. And she's getting secondhand smoke, and she's learning how to smoke. So it's a win-win-win there. So she calls the police. They show up. It's old retired. He had been retired. He came back on the force. City of Louisville cop, real nice guy. He comes and asks me what's going on. I got to make. Actually, meantime, I was making Cecelia some cinnamon toast, and trying to calm her down. Because it was already, I could tell, it was getting, no child needed to be seeing what was going on. Police at your house and stuff like that. It was already a spectacle, and the neighbors were looking and everything. So he asked me what's going on. I tell him exactly what I just told you. And another cop came up in the meantime, and they're out talking to her out by her car. And the cop leaves me, and I give Cecelia her toast. And I'm sitting there talking to her. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. So the other policeman who's talking to Casey, her mom, obviously asked her, did he touch you or anything? And something clicked, and she's like, yes, he did. And that's all it takes. All you got to do is say somebody touched you, a woman. The man says that. It's different standards. I've tried it. I've been assaulted. I called the police. They told me basically get bent. Don't care about men. So anyway, she lied. And at the time I'm wearing a T-shirt. Is a Daddy Pig shirt from Peppa Pig that says "Greatest Dad Ever." Ooh, look at this. Hey, treasure. Look at it, look at it. Ooh, it's a green snake, it's a green snake. Let me go, let me go. All right, guy. Go have fun. All right, back to work. So she tells him I hit her or something like that. She told him I kicked her in the stomach, karate chop, like that. As if I'm Bruce Lee or something. It doesn't matter. She could have told him anything, and that's just how it is. And the cop even told me, as he arrested me, my Daddy Pig, Greatest Dad Ever shirt that the woman who just accused me of assault gave me as a present not long before that, the cop arrested me and they took Cecelia away. And he's like, I'm sorry, man, I don't believe her. I believe you, but this is what I gotta do. So she had me thrown in jail, charged with 4th degree assault, which they don't even have in a lot of states. I learned my best friend, I'd say, here in South Carolina is a deputy sheriff. He's been doing it for 33 years. He's been in family court more times than I have, and that's saying something. And he's a great resource, but he's like, there's not even a 4th degree here. So, I mean, and even the cop told me, he's like, man, we're charging with like the least that we can. This is just nonsense. So that was thrown out. Casey didn't drop it or anything. She was just like, I'm going ahead with this thing. So I had to spend a bunch of money hiring attorneys on that. And because I had a criminal charge on my record, I couldn't get a job. Everywhere I applied sent me letters saying, you have a pending case against you. Until that's resolved, we're unable to move ahead with your application. So I was unable to get a job. And that just steamrolled things, of course, which is what Casey wanted. She wants me to fail so she can look good by comparison. And so she's taken every opportunity possible. This has worked out better for her than anyone could imagine because of what happened next. So I spent the night in jail, got out. I was like, what just happened? Cecelia's gone. She's with her mother. I've got all this paperwork. I've now got, and I'm no attorney. It wasn't then. I could have gotten 2 law degrees by now and a judgeship. And seriously, it's been over 6 years. And I've been doing citations. I did my own research, pro bono. The judge does not like that. And I'm sorry, she didn't like it, but that's kind of tough crap. She's the one who caused this whole thing. Like I said, I wouldn't do anything but watching TV with Cecelia. Next thing I know, nuclear bomb fell on my house. And I'm not the only one. She has a hobby of going around firebombing people. So that's part 1. I guess we'll leave it at that. I'm out of jail. I'm back home. Cecelia and I have been split up. Casey has filed an EPO, an emergency protective order, against me for herself, not for Cecelia, but she filed an emergency EPO, which they call it restraining order in some states. It's an EPO there, and that was for 3 years, which is an alarming amount of time. I went and spoke to one of the many attorneys that I hired. I won't even say what this has cost me to date. It's shameful what Casey's done. That's money that I could spend on Cecelia, that I could give to her for her college. Any number of things, tens of thousands of dollars, burned, handed over to lawyers, gone straight to lawyers, and they haven't done anything. But anyway, I went and met with the largest family law firm in the state, and my ex's attorney used to work for them. And I'm convinced there's something, there's a relationship between that attorney and our judge. I'm not saying a romantic one, but there's something there. There's some reason that she's willing to grant him these orders that she has and won't give a reason. Every time I ask her for a reason, she hangs up the Zoom call on me. And that's authoritarian. It's against the judicial code of conduct. But it's one of those things where if I wanted to pursue it, it's going to cost tens of thousands of dollars, and I'm going to be appealing to judges and lawyers, her friends, to punish her. And you tell me if that sounds like a good use of time and money or not at this point, because I don't. So anyway, that's where we are. I've got a 3-year EPO against me. I've got criminal charges, 4th degree assault. Since my daughter's been taken away. I think I was looking for either I was looking for a job at that very time, or I would be in the future. But that's how I found out that I couldn't get a job because of what she did, which put me in a worse spot with the judge, because that's not stable, and you need stability if you're gonna have a child. You know, for sure. She's not in a stable environment now. Judge doesn't care because it's a female that's taking care of her, and that's all that seems to matter to activists, which is what she is too. So I'm starting to make some progress, I guess, with trying to figure out the reason for this. Right now, from what I hear from my friend who's a sheriff's deputy, we both looked at this from all angles and can't find a reason. He's seen it before. There's some sort of relationship between that judge and that attorney that we're unaware of. And I know they speak ex parte. They talk about the case without me being around, because I've gotten to court before and she said things that she would not know unless she had spoken to him, because he had spoken to me. So he's telling her what I told him or he heard. Hearsay. It's unbelievable, man. So that's part 1. Stay tuned. We'll get to part 2. It gets juicy and sad.